is the final game that you're allowed to buy for 2021.
It's not a game. Okay.
Sure.
It's a piece of software. It's a development toolkit. It is not a game. In case my girlfriend's listening, it is not a game. And actually, all jokes aside, it isn't really a game.
Well, having it, and I don't know how much time you've spent with it. I probably spent maybe 4 hours with it.
Okay, you spent quite a bit more.
It is completely not a game.
No, it's not.
Mario Maker and Mario Maker 2 and Minecraft, they're all games, but they have elements of being game makers. But there are gaming elements. Like if you just want to play, you can do that. This is not that. This is really a game maker. Like it is not fun if you just want to play.
Call it a game builder garage.
Yeah, game builder garage, exactly. So so the game starts out, you can't build what you want when you first open it. You have to do the tutorial. So you have to do the first intro and then the first proper tutorial, and then the game unlocks at that stage. Are you up to that stage, Mike?
Yeah, I'm up to that stage.
Yeah.
So I did that. I did the very first intro. I didn't do the Alice part of the one that you have to do as a mandatory, and then I did free creation for a little bit as well.
Yeah. And man, the tools are just incredible. I'm actually blown away at how cool the tools are.
Yeah. And the way they've used characters. And each character has a different personality, which is fantastic. Even the way they talk, and it's very consistent. As in, the camera one always says, darling. It's brilliant the way they've done that. It just makes it so much easier to learn. Yeah,
and just the way the mechanics, we should probably point it out, the way the mechanics work for this game. It's kind of important to know. So you can build your own games. There's a huge limit on how many games you can have. I think it's 64 from memory. I couldn't imagine hitting that realistically because, it's quite a lot of work to pull something realistic and good together. The other thing is, there's little elements that you're talking about. So it might be a nodon, which is a constant. So it just spits out a generic number that you pick. There's a limit on how many you can have. So it's 512 in any game that you build. And then the connections between those nodons there's 1,024, which is important because it kind of means, even if someone wanted to go insane and pull something crazy together, there are genuine limitations on what you could do, right? It's not just a complete free-for-all. But it is insane to see what some people have done with it, even with these limitations. And this is day one. So I can't imagine what people have done in day two. But being Nintendo, they have insane polish in this game. It's what you're saying. If you leave the screen for a little bit, the little nodons will go beep, 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 just in the background. It's just, it is that Nintendo charm that everyone tries to replicate. And honestly, they just don't always do it, right? And it's just man, this game just blows me away.
Very cool.
How well it's polished that way.
With those limitations, it's also very possible that at some point Nintendo updates that because they did with Mario Maker 2.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might want to see what people build and what it all means. So
the only thing I want to know, so you obviously got much further than I did. What I'm curious with here we go. It was actually just on screen right now. So what are the limitations that you've seen so far with the characters you can design? Because I only played around with, the existing player, which is very fixed, which the one that you can see on the screen right now. It's just a standard. You can change the color and that's about it. And you can change some of the physics as in with the controller, how high they can jump, the slight momentum they have, those kind of things. But the player itself, the character, the model is fixed. So you played around, I think, with creating your own little drawings and stuff, right? Because I haven't gotten to that part. So you can do all that kind of stuff to effectively. Could you replicate, for example, could you remake Mario in this? The first level of Mario by creating your own sprites.
I think the thing is that people are it's day one. And the thing that I kind of love about the game is that people are doing stuff and the engine, and it's almost people are discovering. And I had this experience, and I will touch on it a little bit later. You kind of have this experience where it's oh, can I do this? Can I do that? How does that work? How do you get what you want out of the game to create stuff? It's really cool. I'll show you a quick example of just people are just starting out in this game, but they're pulling together stuff like this. This is like built with Game Maker Garage.
Holy moly.
Game Builder Garage. I always say Game Maker.
Quake.
Yeah, no, it's Doom Eternal. So I've played this as well.
That's awesome.
You can actually like dash in it and jump and dash and then double jump and stuff like that.
That's nuts.
It's just insane what people are doing. So people are working out, if you attach this or attach that. So that's Mr. Tiffles. We should shout out to that person. Then you can like do certain things. And one thing I wanted to show you guys was that, in terms of the community, because you can't actually share your games directly within the game.
I'm hoping you can later, but yeah.
I don't think they want to do that because it's just, the freedom you have. You can draw your own textures. You can put the textures on the models. So going back to what you're saying.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
You can draw kind of anything in this game. Yeah. The kind of amount of curation they need, and given that what happened with like Smash Brothers, I'm sure they don't want to replicate that.
Just allow the dicks. Allow the dicks and everything's fine.
Nintendo would never want to do that.
Honestly, once you do it, you get it out of your system. Then you move on to developing real things. It happens all the time.
My favorite thing with Smash Brothers was you're like, okay, that doesn't look too bad. I'll download that, and then suddenly the level will start, and the thing will drop, and you've got this naked anime lady.
Yeah, that's right. Because they did that because otherwise the thumbnail would show it. Yes, so people who are reviewing it, it's awesome. Yeah, but people are pulling together these games, and
this is a Flappy Bird already. Wow.
Yeah, and it actually plays pretty well. So this is GameGarage.games. MyGarage.games.
Yeah.
And this is an awesome little site that people
project site, right? It's not a real official site, is it?
And it's awesome, man. Like you've got like a little community on Discord. There's already over 1,000 people in the Discord channel. Just around the server, just around Game Builder Garage, and people kind of sharing tricks like, how do you do this? Or if I want to attach this, like people, because the game doesn't tell you. Like there's all the tutorials, but stuff like you can attach a camera to the character model. And then what that means is as you move the character, the camera moves with it. But the game doesn't tell you how to do that, but it is inbuilt in the game. And it has like lots of weird things where you have sensors for a character. It will then pull out the angle the character's on. So you can kind of build AI because the character, like the AI character, let's just say, can go, the angle between me and you is this. So I need to correct my course and then keep moving. So it's just like, there's so much shit in this game that's so cool.
You see the screenshot there for Nintendo's Garage where the dog was
so
going
cool.
and running, picking up the ball that you were throwing.
Yeah.
That was actually really impressive for like a day one application of
massively.
that stuff. I was like, wow, you can actually do this stuff.
And there I was just doing a character jumping up and down the screen, and I couldn't even figure out how to get background music to work.
So for me,
I've got a computer science degree. Oh my God.
So for me, what I did was, because, as a big Rocket League fan, I published my game, Pocket League, a Rocket League clone. I don't have the video of it. Yeah. And you can see here that you can actually,
awesome.
And all of these cars are controllable by, 4 controllers. And if you hit one of the goals, then the game resets. And you can have a counter and all this other kind of stuff.
So
and a delay and a reset.
Because you were kind enough to put the link in there, I've had a good long look at this for this morning. And in your description saying that, and to complete a certain resolution, if this was an official Nintendo site, I think you'd have a lot more weight. This is the equivalent of publishing a game by putting a code on Twitter.
No, this is you have to get it approved. You have to submit it. You have to have a logo.
So it's like getting it greenlit on Steam, sort of.
No, because that's an official channel.
What do you reckon, Mike? Is this? Have I published a game for 2021?
Look, I reckon he has.
Yes, one of the resolutions is done.
Now, to be fair,
Mike,
Switty, I'm slightly biased because I intend to do the same thing.
Yeah, no, but Mike, yours is different because it's not publishing.
No, 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3.
You were so whipped. You know why? Because Integot.
So whipped.
Tell my girlfriend that.
You're whipped by Integot. Integot is always on your ass about your resolutions, and you're here defending this crappy friggin' shortcut.
Crappy? You haven't even played it. It's actually pretty decent.
No, I'm not talking about the game. I'm saying this crappy shortcut
it's
to
not a
the
shortcut?
resolution.
I never said I have to publish it to make money or anything. I just said I have to publish it. This is the publishing place.
Can you do it?
This is the same.
Okay,
this is
okay,
like
hang on. Swinny,
making a game in Mario Maker.
Swinny, what if he makes a 3D version of this that more closely...
3D.
No, as in not top down. I'm talking about like a proper replicating the look of actual Rocket League in 3D.
Oh, I could do that straight away. I could just flip it.
I'm not talking about the game. I haven't played it. Like, I'm not talking about that. I'm saying
So it is a game, would you say?
He did let that slip.
No, but I'm saying that... No, of course it's a game. I'm saying to publish it, to say at the bottom, MyGarage.games is a free platform by the community in no way affiliated with Nintendo. You've not published this game.
What does that mean? That's got nothing to do with it.
Okay, integot. What if I make a new company called Mike's Publishing?
Why
and I publish it because I need to also do the same thing.
I love it. This hack.
I need for it to count so I could say I published
you
it.
Guys,
there's even someone who's reviewed it and said nice.
No, that's cool. Do whatever the hell you want. Clearly, you're just going to do it anyway.
Look at that. I have to say, it was so fun making this.
You still failed one of your resolutions anyways.
Who, me?
No, he admitted to failing one of his resolutions.
Oh, that's because I pulled my back. Didn't. So I'm not sure what I could do there.
But it's still a fail.
Oh, look at this.
If you're going to count this as a win, I'm going to count that as a fail.
I certainly didn't. In fact, I doubled down on my resolution of not just buying less games, but literally buying none at all.
Mike, I agree. I've defended you. He's attacked you, and here you are defending this crap.
That's true. This is the menage a trois relationship we have between us.
Sorry, do not use that word.
But it, like this, just even making this little game and publishing it on this platform, it was like really cool in terms of, I was trying to work out weird things with it. So like the game, you have a car, so that's like you can put that into the game, and you have 3 things you can do. It's accelerate, you can steer, and there's one other thing that I'm trying to think what the car does. I can't recall what it is.
Can you jump?
Yes, jump. So the only thing is I was like, accelerate, and like, great. I'm like, how am I going to do that where I want it to be like the trigger, just like in Rocket League, and then like another button to go reverse or brake. And what you do in the game is you put those node-ons, those like button node-ons in, and they produce a 1, like when you press them. So what I did was I put those node-ons in, then there's another node-on, which is a calculator, and I did subtract. So I did, if I'm pressing like just say ZR to accelerate, that's a 1. If I'm pressing R, which is like brake or reverse, I'm minusing that. So what it means is when I press R, it will produce a -1 number out of the calculator. Then I fed that straight into the accelerate, decelerate, connecting point on the car node-on, and then it would work. It was crazy. I'm just like, there's so many like little things in this game that's just, it gives you that moment of like delight of going, oh, cool, I've worked this out. I've worked this like funny thing out on how to actually make this work.
Wow. Because a game that doesn't tell you that at all. That's the cool thing about it.
No.
So the experience / toolkit doesn't tell you that at all.
Yeah. I must admit, even just pulling this game together and publishing it on this platform, it's like, it kind of made the game worth it already because it was just really fun experience. Like, I feel like I won't forget like, it was like really like awesome and different. Like, it's not something you'd normally do every day. So I'm a huge fan of this game maker, whatever you want to call it. I think it's like a bit too advanced for kids, but I can imagine like if you're like an 8-year-old, like and maybe above, like it would be amazing.
Because this is what I'm wondering as well, because my girlfriend, when she saw a preview for it and I said I was excited about getting it, she said, it looks like it's made for kids. And I'm like, I don't know. To be honest, I actually don't know. It's a G. It says G on the cover. I think it's for everyone. I'm with you. I feel it's a bit more, quite a bit more advanced than Scratch. And Scratch, I think, is taught to 7 and 8-year-olds, maybe even around that age. I don't know. She teaches Scratch to kids. So I feel it's someone around that age would be able to pick it up. And I would actually love to see kids that age do some of this stuff and the stuff that they come up with. Swinny?
Yeah, I'm still like shocked when I see my 7-year-old nephew and that sitting there doing pretty complicated stuff in Minecraft. So I think that there's a good chance that if a kid sits down and spends a bit of time and is shown the basics and everything, that they'd be able to it's
because
all
they
like
experiment.
Learning. Yeah, it's
they
all
play
learning
with
like
stuff. Yeah,
they'll do something simple and then they might not ever do any of the advanced stuff, but it's just like okay. Oh, and then we add that thing over there that you can collect or you can jump through, and then I wouldn't sell them too short with that stuff.
No, neither. I reckon it actually would. I mean, look, it's G obviously for a reason. It's for everyone, and they're not going to put minimum age on
content.
it. That's a bit stupid. Content, exactly.
Not
but I actually think So my niece, I'll just keep calling her that. I will encourage her parents to get her a copy of this. I think it'll be brilliant. Because I got her the Switch, she loved Minecraft, and I think this is a whole new level of learning and playing around and doing stuff. I think she'll love it.
The only thing I'd say is, and this makes me sad, I feel like this game is going to get buried.
Oh, hope not.
I really think it will. Like, I think Nintendo is not even really on socials, because I follow them pretty closely, obviously, with, maybe Switch Pro coming up and everything like that. They're just not really talking about it that much. There's not much marketing behind it. Even when I went into EB, they were like, oh, what is this game? Like, they didn't really know what it was.
And did they even have copies of it?
They didn't even have copies of it.
JB had a ton. I got it from JB and they had a ton of copies. It was really weird.
Yeah, so it's like the equivalent of GameStop in the States. It's like I pre-ordered it and they were just like, oh, we don't have it. We don't have it in stock yet.
Weird.
And another store did. So I don't know. And even like JB, they only had 2 copies of it, like in my area. And it felt like no one else was interested in it.
A ton of copies.
Yeah.
There were a lot on the shelf. And then when I went to the back, I took one of the cases and there was just a stack of brand new copies. They're all open though. It's really weird. Some games are shrink wrapped from Nintendo, some aren't. I don't get the logic. Yeah. Maybe it depends who publishes them. Quick question, Swinny. Are you at all keen on getting this and experimenting and sharing some of your creations with us?
No. Damn. Sounds cool, but it's not for me. I prefer something like your Mario Maker or something like that. Just because I like kind of the idea of a like consistent mechanic thing with that kind of tool. Okay. This stuff has just never really interested me. Even when you go back to like RPG Maker, there's consistency there, and it's kind of like, okay, I like working in this framework as opposed to I like working with almost zero framework, So.
Well, yes and no. I mean, if you have it in your mind that you're going to make a 2D platformer, it's got the framework to make a 2D platformer, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but
But I know what you mean. It's
I
prefer it's very
tools,
open-ended.
I prefer tools that are more focused.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, totally get you.
Yeah, it is much more open in that way, and I just genuinely think it's a really cool way to learn the fundamentals of programming. Because without like any programming at all, there's no.
Yeah, I know, because they call it programming, but I'm looking at it going, this isn't really.
It is programming.
It's programming, but it's. Well, it is. It's just it uses a visual language as opposed to a code-based character language.
Which is not like the funny thing is with Unreal Engine, that actually has visual structures
that's
that you just drag and drop using nodes. Exact same kind of like ideas. Yeah. Just obviously
you just get down underneath as well.
And you can look at the C++ code if you want. Whereas this you can't. But I just think I think probably for me, pulling things together, I was fortunate because, I got a programming background like you, that you understand the fundamentals of what you need to do. Yeah. So it's kind of like, it was very easy for me to go, okay, I need to do this and that. I've even seen some people go, it's limited because it only has like an AND gate and a NOT gate. But I'm kind of like, no, well, you can just you can just use an AND gate and a NOT gate to make anything. So it's like there's just like a lot of stuff that people, I guess, they don't know. And it makes it harder. It'd be nice if they just had an OR gate. It seems weird that they limited that.
Did you try mouse support?
Oh, yes, I did. Yeah, I'm glad you asked about that. So, because I got into making this game and I'm like, look at this. I'll be able to complete my resolution. Sweet. And I plugged in my Bluetooth mouse and it actually worked. And it was like, you pretty much do everything. You could spin the wheel, like the scroll wheel, and it would actually go in and out of the screen. Like, it was actually insane, like, when I was doing it.
Wow. Does it make it heaps easier to build stuff with?
I think because this is Bluetooth, it was a bit laggy. So I never tested it with a fixed mouse. Definitely on my Bluetooth mouse, it was slightly laggy, but I kept using it. So that just shows it does feel better. Okay. It actually made me go, because Swinny, with Super Mario Maker 2, you can't use a mouse, right?
No.
Yeah. That would, like, it would be so good if they could do that.
The thing with that, though, is you'd constantly have to swap back to controller all the time to test anyway.
Yeah.
I guess maybe you do in this one as well. But.
But I actually had like a controller in my hand, like when I was doing stuff, like a controller and a mouse, if you could imagine. And I found that to be really like useful. Like you're just flipping through and everything like that. I really love this. I'm not saying that I'm going to spend like hundreds of hours doing this kind of stuff, but like as a quick prototyping tool, it's actually pretty damn sick. Like to give like a bit of a perspective on like what you want to do and how you want to do it. So, and it feels like you can make it really basic like I did with Pocket League, but you can then go like another level beyond. Like I was looking at it going, I think I could do these 3 things and then essentially make it, I can select, do I want to have 1 player versus AI, or do I want to have 2 players or 4 players? Like I already started to think through, okay, this is how you would do that. So it's pretty cool in that way, actually. Like, you know, you can go a lot deeper and make something a lot more robust. And maybe I'll go back and revisit. We'll see how we go. So was there anything else?
I'm sure.
Was there anything else you wanted to flag?
No, I'm just looking forward to spending more time with it today after this.
Well, you could play my game, but you need 4 players, so good luck.
Can you edit other? You can't edit other people's games, can you?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, you can.
Yeah, so
it's pretty cool.
Maybe you need to figure out how to add some AI to it.
Yeah.
Well, I was building the AI, and then I thought, well, I'm going to spend 2 hours on this, and I should probably prioritize sleeping, given that we're going to wake up and do the streams and everything like that. So, I mean, speaking of which, just to wrap up this episode, check us out if you have heard this episode.